Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Upright Uptake. I'm here with Paul Wilke, CEO of Upright Position Communications, and today we are going to talk to you about problems and PR. So when you think about PR, most people think about how to build their company's reputation, keep it top of mind, make it desirable to your customers. And PR is absolutely an excellent way to boost your image, frame your reputation, and get noticed. PR tactics are a great way to refresh a tired or an invalid image. They support your talent, help them become influencers so others recognize their expertise. And of course, PR can lighten the impact of a crisis with the right communications and maybe even turn that crisis into an opportunity. But what might surprise people is that PR can help solve actual business problems, especially when companies and PR pros get creative. And Paul, you have experience and a really fantastic story that illustrates this beautifully.
Yeah, thanks, Janie. I've been dining on this story for years. One of the things I always say in business pitches, and when I talk to people that don't quite understand what public relations is, and I always say there's a PR or communications solution to any business problem. It just takes conversation and talking and figuring out what that is. And one of the things that we always do with client meetings is we try to start the top of the call with what's keeping you awake at night. What do you worry about from a business perspective? What are your customers' concerns? And from there, we try to figure out, is there a way that we can use the PR tactics and strategies that we use on a daily basis to solve those. And I've got an anecdote that might not fit into the day-to-day business of every company we work with, but it's a good one. When I was I did some PR for a container shipping company in Asia when I lived there a number of years. And one of the things that I would do was I would sit down, talk to the country managers of the managers that I worked with, and said, okay, what's your issue? Is it reputation? Is it, is there a business? Is there a problem that's not being solved? And in this particular occasion, I was working with a country manager in India, and he was saying the government's not letting us bring our larger ships into a particular port. And he and I were talking, and we were trying to figure out, okay, is there something we can do from a communications perspective to alleviate this? So one of the things that we had going for us at the time is we were building the company was building a lot of new ships. And I actually have props today.
Hey, we love props. Oh, that's cute.
This is the APL Egypt, which is one of the ships that was being built while I was working there. It's a 4,500 TU for you ship spotters out there. That means something. And at the time, it was a fairly large ship, not as big as the ones that are running today. But the APL Egypt had a sister ship. Try saying that 3 times. A sister ship that was being built in Korea. So I knew about this. The country manager knew about this. So we kind of said, okay, what would happen if we tried to create an event around making its maiden port call into an Indian port? And we thought, okay, that would be a big deal for us, but it would also be a big deal for the government. They could say a new large ship was coming into this port. So we came up with a communications plan that was an event. We'd invite media, we'd make announcements, we'd do a lot around it. And this is kind of what we came up with. He went to the government, proposed this from a business perspective, but also a communications perspective, knowing full well that they would look good, they would look positive in this light as welcoming commerce, growing business, and all this. So they were on board. We brought the ship in. We did a big event, and we got a lot of positive media coverage that, again, going back to my old rule about PR, it's not always about you. It made the government look good. It made the port look good. It made us look good. And we got a lot of positive coverage. And from that, the government was more perceptive to bringing bigger ships into the port. Now, that's a very big example of a communications solution to a business problem, but I can't think of a better one that illustrates that there is a power behind messaging, strategy, tactics, working together on something that's other than just a press release or puffery or publicity. Communications can make a difference.
Very true. And I think too, it helps PR people to know what's going on. Like you said, we ask, what's keeping you up at night? What's new? The more that a client can share with us, the more opportunities we have to find those openings and those opportunities. So I love that it was just a conversation that you had and things that fell into place, and what a cool ending.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You don't need a lot of meetings and plans to come up with the ideas. Some of the times these ideas are back of a cocktail napkin type thing, or a random idea you have as you're waking up in the morning. And by facilitating that dialogue between client and agency, or management and PR communications or marketing team, you come up with the ideas. It's always great. One of the things we always say, whether it's an IPO or a product launch or a crisis issue, bring the communications team in early. You don't always know what we're going to bring to the table, but we're always going to think about your problem from a communications perspective.
Absolutely. I love that. And crisis can be something internal as well as external, and PR can help with just about every problem out there with some sort of communication solution, whether it can solve it or just make it a little bit better, like in a crisis situation. And I think of, not being able to get the ship into the port. That's a little big, actually a big crisis for that organization. But you think about, what is that port in your business, and what is the ship you're trying to get in, and how can PR help you?
Exactly. I think what's one of the other good points to come out of that is as management, or as a CEO, or as someone who doesn't work on marketing and PR day to day, come into the conversations with your communications team open-ended, instead of, hey, let's do a press release about this. Say, hey, we've got this issue. What can we do? Mm-hmm. And that gives us the opportunity. That gives us more of an open slate to work with. We've got some ideas that you may not have, or come at it from a perspective that is fresher than sitting and thinking about this problem in isolation.
Right. And we come in with a different perspective. We are already outside the box. So by bringing us in, it just makes it a little bit easier to come up with ideas and solutions. That's what we do. That's what we're paid for.
What we try to do.
We try to do. Yeah. So when should businesses start thinking about PR when they're trying to solve something? What if they don't have external PR out there? Maybe they have a marketing person that's trying to juggle all sorts of things and wearing many hats. What would you recommend to businesses as kind of those flags to maybe it's time to bring in a pro?
Yeah, it's never too early to think about things from a communications perspective. And there are so many options right now. There are small agencies, there are large agencies, there are freelancers, there are consultants. And depending on the problem, you may have the solution out there already. You've got a network of contacts that have worked with PR professionals of all walks of life, whether it's financial PR, event PR, big PR, small, little announcements, big sort of concentrated, coordinated campaigns. Don't be afraid to ask around. Hey, I like what you did with your rollout of product X. Who did you use? Who did you work with? And that word of mouth referrals always a great way to get the kind of credibility you need. Of course, you can reach out to us, but go with the network that you have, and you're probably going to come up with something really great.
I love it. So any other final thoughts you want to share about PR solving problems today?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I used a very large example, literally a large example. I mean, these things aren't tiny. This is a small version of it. But the challenge doesn't have to be ship-sized. In fact, smaller challenges also benefit from looking at a problem through a communications lens.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've wrapped it up for this episode. So thank you for watching it to the very end. And please watch our other episodes. We have a lot of great PR tips on our Upright Uptakes on our website and on YouTube. And we'll tell you how PR can help support your company. And as always, if your organization is looking for PR counsel, please reach out to us at uptake@uprightcomms.com. And we'd love to help you find solutions that make your business stand out. So I'm Janie Gianotsos.
And I'm Paul Wilke. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
watching.